طيب، بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته جميعا. باسم المجموعة السعودية للبيانات في هذه العشر الأواخر نبارك لكم جميعا، ونتمنى أن الله يتقبل منا ومنكم جميعا صالح الأعمال، وأن الله سبحانه وتعالى يعدي هذه الأزمة على خير بإذن الله، وتفرج الأزمة قريبا. طبعا بس مبدئيا بنعطيكم اليوم introduction بسيط عن المجموعة السعودية للبيانات، ونرحب فيكم جميعا. ما شاء الله وصل الحضور الآن إلى أكثر من 100 شخص. شكرا جزيلا لقبولكم الدعوة، ونتمنى إن شاء الله أن نكون عند حسن ظنكم، وأن اليوم يكون لقاءنا مثري للجميع. طيب، المجموعة السعودية للبيانات زي ما أنتم عارفين هدفها الأسمى والأمثل هو نشر ثقافة البيانات، تمكين المختصين في البيانات، مشاركة المجتمع بالإنسايت اللي ممكن نطلعها بالبيانات. زي ما تعرفون اليوم، ويمكن أغلبكم خصوصا مع وضع كورونا يحاول يوميا يتابع أرقام وزارة الصحة وكم عدد الحالات، ويتابع أيضا بشكل عالمي. فالأرقام اليوم تتكلم، وهذا هو لب الموضوع. المجتمع أو المنظمة أو الشركة أو حتى الفرد الذي يعتمد في حياته وفي قراراته على أرقام ويحللها بالشكل الصحيح بإذن الله يخرج بإنسايت رائعة وجميلة بإذن الله. فالمجموعة السعودية للبيانات بدأت في الرياض، وبعدين الحمد لله الآن صار موجود عندنا أكثر من مجتمع. بدينا في الرياض اللهم لك الحمد، وفي الشرقية، والآن إحنا في مجتمع جدة للبيانات. واليوم زي ما أنتم تعرفون راح تكون عندنا قصة جميلة جدا، اللي هي عملية إنه إحنا بعد ما زي ما أنتم عارفين يعني أغلب البيانات أو مرحلة تحليل البيانات يمر بأشكال ومراحل مختلفة. يبدأ الأول شيء الواحد يجمع البيانات، أو قبل يكون ممكن الكويستشنز اللي المفروض هو يجاوب عليه. فتبدأ بعدين عملية جمع البيانات وتحليلها، قبل تحليلها تنظيفها طبعا، وبعدين المودلز وإلى آخره. وآخر مرحلة واللي هي مهمة جدا اللي هي عملية أنت توصيل البيانات بعملية data visualizations أو data report whatever kind of solution، أو التولز اللي أنت بتطلع فيها الانسايت اللي أنت عملتها في خلال المراحل كلها. فاليوم راح ينضم معنا الآن مستر فالمي. He's an ERP application and business intelligence manager at McDonald's. So he will inshallah give us a quick session or demonstration about how to develop a dashboard using a Power BI tools. Our agenda for today is BI definition and evaluation, and what is Power BI, how Power BI workflow, and at the end we're gonna see some demonstration to build the dashboard using Power BI tool. And in the last 15 minutes we're gonna see Q from your side, and inshallah Mr. Fahmy can answer it very well. So please guys, welcome with me Mr. Fahmy, and Mr. Fahmy, mic is yours, so please go ahead.
Hi, thank you very much. Thank you, Sultan. Hope you guys can hear me clearly.
Yes, we do, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, and how about the screen? You are seeing the presentation, the first slide?
Exactly, yes, we do.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you very much for having me today. This is an exciting opportunity for me to present one of my favorite subjects, which is Power BI. Also, I'm glad to meet with the members here in Jeddah Data Community. It's my pleasure. Okay. Hope you guys are doing well and keeping safe during these tough times. Inshallah, things will be fine very soon. So within the limited amount of time that we have, I'm trying to present and give you a lot of contents. So bear with me. Okay, so in addition to what Sultan introduced, let me also give you a bit about me, share about me. Okay, you can, I'm Fahmy Abdul Muttalib. You can call me Fahmy. So I've been certified by Microsoft on BI reporting on Microsoft Excel and Power BI. Okay, It was done in 2019. So I am also specialized in providing consultancy and designing and teaching both Power BI and modern Excel, okay, to people whoever need that service. So I do that through my website, which is excelfort.com. You can visit. Also, I run a YouTube channel. So I'm planning to upload a lot of videos on both visualizations, basically Excel and Power BI. So if you can subscribe, contents will be delivered to you, inshallah. So, okay, you can reach me through LinkedIn, and my email is there, forme@live.com. So basically, I've been working for McDonald's just over 20 years now, being in charge of the ERP system and the BI there. Okay, so I'm basically a finance professional originally, with a great deal of experience in many areas of finance and data analytics. And over the past couple of years, I have developed a strong passion for business intelligence, especially on Power BI. Okay. So apart from this, I also show interest in helping people and teaching them on the technology and the BI platforms. Okay, great. So let's jump into the agenda for today. Yes, today's agenda I have prepared in 2 sessions, basically. First, I will give you a short introduction to business intelligence and Power BI. Then I have also allocated time, most of the time, for demonstration. Okay, so where I'll be building a dashboard, a live dashboard with a sample set of data that I have. Okay, so let's see, before we start talking about all this, first we need to understand what business intelligence is, right? Okay, so let's see what is BI. So what is business intelligence, right? So it is the culture, process, and technology to improve decision making for stakeholders, right? So what does it mean? So it's not only the technology or the tools that are used in the process, but the mindset of driving data-driven culture, which is making informed decisions based on facts rather than opinions, right? So what does a BI system do? It carries out the process of collecting, integrating, analyzing, and presenting information for better decision making. Essentially, having right information, right time, and at the right format, in the right format, to support strategic and tactical and operational decision making, right, for a better business. The way business intelligence is used in organizations has changed significantly over the past years, if you see. So next, we are going to see how the BI platform, I mean, the concept of BI has evolved. So first, let's look at the first wave. I can explain this in 3 waves, actually. So initially, corporate BI, it was the corporate BI where the IT department, the IT team used to prepare the reports and the analyses and the dashboards and provide it to the end user, right? So in the early days of BI, companies would usually have an IT team for handling all the requests for insights from the business. This model is not very scalable, and it can take a long time for the answer to get back to the end user. By the time it comes back, the user has new questions. So again, they have to go back to the IT department, and so there is an issue there. So what happened after that? The second wave, where self-BI got introduced. To solve this lack of scalability and gap between team and end users, the second approach to BI was to get BI capabilities in the hands of analysts. Okay, so analysts take in charge of the reporting. They can understand the business and can support decision making with their analytics. So this was the second phase. What happened after that? Microsoft introduced Power BI. You also find other tools in the market, but let's talk about Power BI because the presentation today is about Power BI. So this is we call it end user BI, right? That means everyone, I mean, non-technical business users, like people in finance, marketing, even the receptionist, whoever, they are empowered to use the data and find answers, right? Find insights. So non-technical users in the organization is enabled to analyze their data and act based on the insights they find. So this is sort of the evolution that took place in BI. Today, end user BI is very popular. Now that we know a bit about, we started speaking about Power BI, let's look at what Power BI is, okay, what it is and what it can do for us, right? So first we need to understand what Power BI is. So let me just explain it formally. So it's a cloud-based BI analytics platform. That can easily combine data from various data sources. It could be from cloud, from on-premises, right? Structured, non-structured. It can analyze, visualize data, and share powerful insights with stakeholders and end users. So this is the idea of Power BI. So Power BI is also one of the most powerful and rapidly growing BI suite today for reporting insights and storytelling with data, right? So, well, now we will find out where Power BI stands compared to its competitors and the key features that Power BI provides, fine? Okay. Okay, so we are looking at this slide. It shows Gartner's Magic Quadrant on the left. What does it show? Gartner is a global research and advisory firm. So it recognizes Microsoft as a leader in analytics and BI platforms for the past 13 years consecutively. Look at the achievement. So you can also see other competitors, Tableau, Quillic, and Salesforce, they are lining up. Okay, they are also in that quadrant, leaders quadrant. So you can see the competition in the leaders quadrant here. So Power BI is a service built on top of Azure platform, right? You know about Azure, and it is the second largest cloud computing platform, right, as of now. So you can go for, regarding the subscription, it is very affordable, and you have free and pro version. Also, you have a premium for large scale enterprises, but pro cost almost $10 per month per user, right? So pretty affordable. Power BI also releases updates on a monthly basis. This is totally mostly user driven. What do I mean? They get ideas from the users, right? So we all submit ideas. They ask for ideas. Okay, what changes you want, what improvements you want. So they can submit, they go through that, they implement it. So you get Power BI updates on a monthly basis. In fact, I got May updates yesterday. So I installed the latest Power BI desktop. Yesterday, it had the May updates in that. Okay. So it can connect to a wide range of data sources, right? So that is the beauty of Power BI. Your data can be on the earth or in the cloud, flat file, structured, unstructured. It could be social media, photos, videos, even PDF files. You can virtually connect to any data source, right? That is one of the biggest advantages there. Also, it has a lot of AI features built into it, right? I will show you in my demonstration today. Also, it has a Power BI mobile app along with this platform. So Power BI mobile app is available on iOS and Android. You can stay connected wherever you go. You can get push notification for personal data, alerts, right into your device. So, and the Power BI interface is very, user-friendly, right? So you will understand when I do the demonstration. And lastly, if you come from Excel background, right? I'm sure most of you do. So you will find it very similar. Most of the concepts and the workflow is very similar, right? Okay. So now you got to know about Power BI. So how do they do it, and how do we achieve it as an end user perspective? If you look at from an end user perspective, how do you do that? Where do you start it? Okay, so in the next slide, we'll see where does it start, and where it ends. What is the flow of work, right? If you want to visualize something, if you want to analyze something, how do you do that? So first thing, you need to download Power BI Desktop, right? So Power BI Desktop is a free report authoring application, right? It's an application you can download it for free from powerbi.com, Power BI website. I will share with you the link later in the slides, okay? So what you do, let's say you have downloaded it, right? So what do you do first as a user? First, you locate your data, right? So where your data is, maybe it is in SQL Server, it's in HANA or Excel, CSV, text, whatever it is. First, you identify the data, right? And you connect to the data first. That is the first step. Then once you have connected, you bring the data into Power BI, right? You know, most of the time, you never get data that is ready to be used, right? You need to apply a lot of alterations, transformations. You need to clean the data, shape it up. So there is a tool called Power Query in Power BI, which will help you do this. So we basically call it, you guys know, it's ETL, extract, transform, and load process. So you do all this cleaning and massaging of the data. This process takes place in Power BI itself, right? You connect to the data, you clean it. Now what do you do? After you have done that, you load the data into the data model, basically, right? So in the data model, what we basically do is create a data model. Then we create relationships between tables, between data entities. We do aggregations. Also, we do hierarchies. We do calculations as well, right? We need metrics and stuff. So we do the calculations and so create roles. So this is where, you know, we use the data modeling part to accomplish that. So you connect, you transform, and you put the data model right. Then it's time to analyze your data, right? So to analyze, Power BI provides a lot of cool visualizations. Also, it has built-in AI capabilities, machine learning. Okay, it can provide you instant insight from your data. Then you visualize with charts, metrics. Okay, so now what you have done is, you know, after you connect your data, then you model it, you have visualized it. The last part is what? You need to share it, because once you have created this nice dashboard, what you can do, you don't want to keep it yourself, right? If you want to share it with the users, the stakeholders. So this is where Power BI service comes. So the report you have created, you can create an account in Power BI service and you can upload it to the cloud. So from there, you'll be able to share your insights as reports and dashboards, right? Can be shared as a link that can be accessed by public, right? You can embed it in any applications. So also along with this, Power BI has a mobile app. I spoke about it. So in the Power BI mobile app, you can also view the reports and the dashboards, right? So you can interact with Excel, export it to Excel, embed it. So this is where the power of Excel, power of Power BI comes in, right? The shareability and collaboration. So now when the users get this data and they go through, they find new insights, then they again will come back and tell you, yes, I need changes, I need to add more analysis. Then again, you need to repeat the process. It's sort of a loop here, right? Hope you got it. Yes. So before we, now you understand the flow here. So we are going to do the same flow in our demonstration, fine? Now, before we start the demonstration, so let me just show you how you can, from where you can download the Power BI desktop. What you can do, you can visit powerbi.com and then you can find the download link there. And there are two options basically when you go. You have the App Store. From the App Store, you can download in that App Store. What happens is the apps, the Power BI application get downloaded, then it gets updated automatically. You don't have to download on a monthly basis, right? There is another version where advanced download option, which will basically let you select 32-bit or 64-bit and different versions. So what I do is I normally use the App Store version, so it gets updated automatically. Fine. Right. With this, I think we can go for the demonstration. Okay, so what we have here is a company, sample company I have taken. Okay, this is a superstore in US where they have items like furniture, office supplies, they sell across US. Okay, this is a dummy sample database. I have taken the orders from them, like for example, let me just share with you. Hope you can see my Excel sheet.
Yes, we can do.
Yeah, okay, fine. So now what I have here is you see my folders. Hello.
Yeah. Where is the folders? What do you mean?
Yeah. See, in this, let me explain to you. Now, the sample data I took, this is about some orders, for 2015 for this company. So I have the customers table and products and the orders, also managers who handle this, right, in charge of this section.
Okay.
Now, let me go through the orders. What kind of data we have? Okay, now in this, what I have is, I have the order ID, the priority of the order, whether it is priority is critical, high, low, medium, right? And the data is for 2015 from January to December. It has order date, it has ship date, and also quantity sold, unit price, and here we have the product ID and the customer ID. If you look at it, we only have the product ID. So all the related information about product is in a different file, right? So customer also in the same manner. So let me just take one order. If one line doesn't represent one order, but it represents the details, basically. These three lines belong to one order, order number 548 for this particular customer, right? Yeah. So now what I'm going to do, now we have understand this data set. Let me also just show you what kind of information we have. I spoke about customers. So let me open customers. Right. Customers, we have the customer, where is it? Customer ID here. So for the customer ID, we have the region, central region. This is Illinois, and what is the city in US. So the customer segment, we have corporate, small business, and consumers. Also the postal code. If you see there are some issues in the data, there are some blanks, we need to clean this up. Okay, so this is what we have been given. We have the customer details. And the next is, let me close this and open the products. Okay, so let me just share the products. Okay, so this is the products details we have. So if you look at it, we have the product ID, we have the product name, the category. If you see category and the subcategory, they are all together, right, combined. So we need to split them. And a product container. So this is what we have for the products. Right? So also, we have a file for the managers, right? So okay. Yeah, can you see the text file I opened? Managers. Yeah, okay,
Yes,
fine.
yes.
So here we have the regions like Central, East, and South, but who is in charge of that? For example, Chris is in charge of Central, Erin is in charge of East. This is in a text file. If you look at the data, they are in different file formats. Right? I think I'm losing the screen share, right?
Yes, you did. You're losing. But let me explain what you have done so far. So you open a Power BI desktop application, and
Yeah.
you explain the data sources or the data itself, and you explain that the data has been scattered across files and different formats.
Yeah.
Okay, good. People are asking now about from where they can get the data that you have shared. Is it an open data so they can share it from or download it from somewhere?
Once the session is over, I will share the data, source data,
Perfect.
and the completed file with them.
Okay.
Okay.
Please share your screen there because we cannot see it.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just share the screen. Okay. So now what we did, we have. I'll just show you. I just showed you the data that we are going to work with today, right? So, right. Hope you can see it.
Yes, we can.
Yes. So this is the data we are going to work with. Small data set. Fine. Right. Now, once you understand the data, then you definitely now you understand what kind of analysis you need to do. You know, you need to analyze, slice and dice by product category, customer region, and managers, and so many things. So let's get into Power BI now. Okay. So I have already installed and I just opened Power BI. Okay. So let me just open it. So you can see the Power BI application.
No, we just see the folder for the data itself.
Yeah, okay, fine. I will just share it.
Yeah, now we can see it.
Yes, you can see
So, it would be great for me if you just explain the component here, that the visualization bar and the menu at the top before we can inject something.
Yeah, what I'm going to do is basically, you see, I will get some data into it, then I will explain it. So it will be easy for you to understand. Without data, it doesn't make, I think, much sense.
Perfect.
Here, right?
Okay, go ahead.
Great. Fine. So now what I did, I just opened the Power BI application, which is free, 100% free. You can just download it, as I told you. I'll also share the link. Now, once you are here, what you see here is basically the canvas. This is the canvas where we will create our report, insert visuals and everything. So before we start, what we need to do, we need to go and connect, right? Remember the process, right? Where we connect, we transform, we model, we visualize, and we share. There are 5 steps in the flow. So the first step is what? First step is go and connect. If you go to the home ribbon, you see the data section. Under data section, you find the most popular connectors like Excel, Power BI. I'll explain this, Power BI, datasets, SQL Server. You can also enter manually data here directly, also the recent ones. Now here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to connect to the Excel file, right? So, right. Okay, now we have orders table in Excel format. Others are not showing because here it is showing only Excel, right? So I'm going to get the orders table. Once you go and connect to a data source, okay, it is giving you a small window called the navigator, where it can show you the components of the Excel file. So you know already Excel table. So this table I showed you before, the orders were formatted as a table. So it shows the table. If you click on that, it will show you a preview of the data, right? Also, there is a sheet, because sheet itself is the data. You know, if you just look at it, both are same, but this has more functionality. It's better to always connect to a table, right? Okay, so let's click on table and put a tick mark here. Now, once you have done that, there are 2 buttons here. One is load, the other one is transform. Load, if you click, it will straight away take the data and put it in Power BI. So we are skipping the transformation section, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click transform data, because we need to check if there is any cleaning to be done, right? there is a slight delay here. Let me just see. Okay, so it opened in another window, right? Okay, fine. So once you connected, what you see is now, you can see this window where it says Power Query Editor.
No, we don't.
Yeah, you see it now, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so see, once I went and connected, so what happened, it brought the data. I didn't click load, I clicked on transform. Then it opened in a new window called Power Query Editor, right? So what is Power Query? Power Query is, as I told you, this is another tool which is built into Power BI. Also, you can find it in Excel, right? So where we do all the data transformation inside this, it's a very powerful tool. So let's see now what happened. It brought the data. Now, if you go here, source, what was our source? My folder was for me desktop, and this is the orders table. It connected. Then I went to navigate to the table, right? Table called table 1, and now you can see the data, right? Then it also automatically applied the data type, like for example, right? So this is text or numbers based on each column. It automatically assigned the data type. What we are going to do here is, we are going to check the columns and make sure they are in right order. Okay, so let's see first. If we need this order priority, we can remove column if you want. We can right click and remove. We don't need the order priority. So we have the order number, right? So what happens when I removed it, if you see on the right side, it records the steps, right? If I go to the previous step, it shows order priority column is there. But when I go down, it is not there because that step has been inserted here, remove columns, right? So likewise, this is like a VBA macro where it records all the steps. So every time you refresh the data, it will process all the steps. Okay, so you can go to any particular step and check. When I click, you see some codes written here, right? So this is table.remove columns, and so what is this? In the background, it is writing the code in a language called M, right? If you want to see that, this is a bit advanced. You go to Weave and Advanced Editor. This is what it has done basically. Okay, this is the code scripts for all the action steps that I have performed. Okay, it will. You don't have to worry about that. You can just look at it. Okay, if you want. So you have the steps on the right side. Now, what do I do? So I remove the column, fine. Then after that, this is okay, fine, date, right? But this order ID is not something we are going to aggregate. So we'll change it to, what do you call, this is text, okay? You can change the data type here, text, right? Order, quantity ordered new. So I can double click and remove this part and make it quantity. You can rename, right? So this is in the right format. This is in whole number and this is in decimals. Unit price, fine. Product ID, right? Customer ID, we'll make this text. Right, okay, great. So we have done some transformation to the data. Yeah, if you look at it, the quantity is there, price is there, but we need a column that multiplies quantity by price. So there is a function here. You can mark both the columns, quantity and unit price. Go to add columns, standard, and multiply. It created a new column multiplying it, right? All the values are filled automatically on each row. So this can be called as sales, right? So this is the sales. This is the decimal part. Okay, so decimal data type. Now, once we have done all this, also we can look at the name of this query. In Power Query, we call each table that we bring in data unit, we call it as query. So this is basically a table for Power BI. So here you can change the name. We call it orders, right? Yes. Now what we have done, we have connected when we have done some transformation. The next is what to load it to Power BI. You can go to Home tab, to close and apply. So it is loading the data.
Lost screen, Mr. Phone.
Yeah.
We lost it.
Oh, okay. I don't know why the screen is not getting connected. Yeah. Okay. Now you can see.
No, we don't.
Okay.
Okay.
You can see now, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Great. So now, if you look at this, now I was here. I was just showing you the data here. So this is what I brought in, right? The orders table. We have done transformations and brought in here. You can see the table here. If you go to the second, this is the canvas where we do the visualization, and this is the table view. It's like Excel. You can look at it. So there is something wrong with the order ID. So we don't need it actually. We'll delete it. Okay. Okay. So what we have done, we can also apply some formatting here. For example, the date, right? So the date format is something like this will be nice. Okay, short. We are applying further formatting here, right? So regarding quantity, okay, unit price is okay, and product ID, customer ID, and sales, right? So this is fine. Now, if you go to this is the canvas and this is the data, right? You can filter it like this is like Excel, right? Okay. Now here, what we do, you go and see there is this is the model view. What is the model view? This is where we create relationship between tables, right? So there is only one table right now. So orders table is there. For us to do the analysis, we need two more tables, which is the customer and the product. So if you want to get them, you can go again to get data. So we will go to Excel and we'll get the customers, right? Okay, right. So customers table, when I get it, okay, so there is no table here. It shows the data. So you can, like I told you before, you can tick on this and click transform. Yes. Let's analyze what's wrong with this data, okay, and we'll do the transformation. So if you look at it now, for example, central region and the state or province, there are null values.
Yeah, but Fahmi, sorry for interrupting, but is there any issue? There are pending changes in this is the screen that we.
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen, which just a second. You see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, because once I open it, lose its focus anyhow. So what I was talking about, no, did you follow when I connected to the new table?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You go and get the data. Then what the customers table, and what we did. This is the central region, right? So
Okay.
now this central region, there are null values here. So what should happen? The central is applicable to all this data block here. So it will go down up to east. So we need to copy down up to this point just before east, the value that appears here, central. Also the Illinois state, it has to be copied down, right? So there is a function in Power Query, which you can right click here, fill down. So it fills down and replaces all the null values, right? So also we need to do the same application for these two columns. You can mark both and right click, fill, and fill down. Great. So I think we have done the changes for the region, state, and city. Then we have the customer ID, fine, customer name, corporate, small business, these are all segment. So customer segment, fine, and postal code. So we'll rename this to segment for the time being.
Okay, but the region now, all of the data and region will be central only, or there is another?
No, down I just showed you, there is east here. East started here, so it will fill it down from this point up to the next value, which is west. Okay, south.
Okay, I see.
Okay, you got it right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So if you look at this now, you can mark all the columns, and you can right click, and these are all text. So we can mark it as text. You see it inserted a new step here. So in the customer table, what we have all this information that is now corrected. It is good. So we'll rename this to customer. So we have the orders, we have the customer, right? So what else we have? We have the managers table, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the data. So you can go here from Power Query also, you can go and get the data. So it is in, I believe, text formats. You can click text as CSV. Yeah, you can see the screen, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Okay, see, now this is in text format. So what happens now, since I'm in Power Query, there are no two buttons, load or transform, because definitely you are going to do the transformation. That's why it's showing this OK button here. So since this is a text file, it is showing how it is converting the text file, based on tab delimited or comma separated. So it automatically identifies this is tab delimited. Now we are going to load it. Right, okay. Now, if you look at this, the managers, this is not in the right format. You see, central, east, and south are not headings. They are data, right? It should be in the column. And also there are some blank lines here. We don't want it. So first thing what I do, I go and remove the blank line. So you can filter it out. Now you see these ones. So it has to be now tilted, I mean transformed. Right, so there is a function called on the transform, right? So what happens now here? You have the region, the manager, but the column name is region. It has to be in the column name. So there is an option, go to Home tab and use first row as header. So it will push the region to the header. Now you have region, you have manager. So both are text, central, east, south, and west. So this is great. Now this is managers, the name is fine, okay. Now there is another function in Power Query I just want to explain, which is merge queries. I don't want to use this table. Instead, I want to merge it with customers table. What do I mean? I have central here. So I know who is the manager for central. It's Chris. So I want to bring Chris' name into a new column here. So for the other regions, whoever managers who are responsible will be brought in here, right? So this is sort of like VLOOKUP in Excel, okay? But this is much more advanced than that. So let's do that. Go to merge queries. Okay, so select managers. So we have two tables we are going to merge. We have customers and managers. So what is common in these two? The region. So I'll select region here and region here. So if you look at it, there are 1,130 customers. So these are all matchings. Okay, so what I can do, this is doing a left outer. If you know SQL joins, then it's easy to understand. But no need to worry about that. So it is basically connecting all what is there in one table to whatever is matching on the other table. Fine. So I'm going to click OK. Now what Power Query does, it brings the whole table. For example, this is Central. So who is the manager for Central? Let's see. If you click on this, Chris, Central is Chris. But we don't want both this information. We want only one, right? Which is the manager name. What you can do, you can click on this button and untick all, tick only manager. And untick this because it will give like managers dot managers. I don't want that name. So I'll untick it. Let's see what happens. So I got Chris here. Let's see in other regions what happens, right? This is there. Okay, great. Now we have the customer. So no need to make any changes. This is the format is correct. This is text. We have the orders, customers, and managers. What else is there? We have the products. Okay, so we'll bring in the products table. Now go. And products is, I believe, in CSV. Yeah, products. Okay, now this is comma delimited. So it shows here comma delimited, and this file is okay. So we'll get it into Power Query. Okay, now let's analyze the file. If you see the first row is the header. So we need to definitely push it up. So we'll go to Home tab, then Home ribbon, then under Transform, you have use first row as header. Okay, that is great. Now this is okay. This is okay. Now this is where the problem is. Now if you see, office supplies is the category, but what is coming under that is the subcategory. It's been concatenated, okay, put together. We need to split them, right? So for us to split, there is a common delimiter, which is a pipe, if you see. So how do you split it? There is a function. If you go to Transform, Split, you can choose Split by delimiter. There are many other options here, number of characters. You can take the first 5 characters, positions, numbers, digits. So there are many options here. So for this column, what we need is the delimiter, right? See, it automatically identifies what is the delimiter there. The delimiter is a pipe sign, so I don't have to choose it, right? So not the leftmost. If there are many, you can take only if you want the first left one, then you can take this. Now, each occurrence of the delimiter, and you are going to click. Okay. Now it's been split. So we'll rename it. This is basically the category. And this, we can call it the subcategory, right? Okay. So this is text, 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 all text. Yes, I think our product table is ready now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to now load this into Power BI. Close and apply. Yeah, you see now it is getting loaded, right?
Yeah, only apply query changes.
Yes.
And now we again.
Okay. So now we are in the application, right?
Yeah. So you have uploaded all the files that needed for this demonstration, right?
Yes. Yeah, all the tables basically, right? Because we are going to analyze orders, sales orders, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, what we need, we right, this is over here. I am in the model view. What you do is you organize this. So if you look at this model view, this is very important part of Power BI, the model view, where I have the products, right? I have the customers, then I have the orders, right? I have the products, it is connected here. Customers are connected to the orders, right? If you notice the managers, what we did, we went and brought the manager's name into customers, right? So what we want to do, we don't want this table basically because we already have the manager's name in customers table. So we can stop this from loading. For that, what we can do, we can go and click transformation, right? Okay. Okay. So now you see my screen, right? Power Query screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you see, I loaded all 4 tables. I don't need the managers table. Why? Because I brought the names already attached to the customers table. So I can right click and enable load. I can remove it. I'm telling Power Query, don't load this. Okay. Data, right? So if you see, it is like italicized. So I'm going to close this. Okay. So I'm going to share with you again. Right. Okay. Now you see my screen, right, with the model view?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay, I'll just do that. Yes. Okay, fine. Now you can see the model view, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So what we are doing here is this is one-to-many relationship. What do I mean? Because there is only one here and star here. That means in products, the product ID can appear only once, but in the orders table, it can be in many occasions. Also in the customers table. This is the relationship, right? It's automatically created here, but if you want to create it, you can create it manually. You can click, drag and drop here. So it will create the relationship for you. So why we need relationship? Because when you filter by product, for example, one particular product, it will filter all that particular product over here in the orders table. Okay. When you do the filtering and doing the calculations, it will affect, right? So this is the model view. So once what we did, we let me just go through what we did. We connected to data source. We identified the data. We connected. We did transformations, and we are doing the modeling now. Okay, so it looks perfect. So what at this point I like to go and save the file. Okay, so go to file and save as. Let's save it. Superstore sales analysis. Right, I have saved the file. Now, what is the next in the flow? Next step is to analyze and visualize data. For us to visualize, we have all the tables here on the right side. Now, let me explain to you the canvas. So this is the report canvas, right? So in this report canvas, if you see this, what is the size of this? You can right click, you can click on this and see the page size. This is 16 by 9, 16 this way, 9. So if you want, you can have A4 size or anything, even custom size are possible, right? So you see a dotted line, this is the border, this is where the report size will come into effect, right? So you can give it any name. Okay, let's say overview. Okay. Now here, what we are going to do this, what I did, you can change the background color or whatever you want to have. Even if you go there, you can have any colors, right? The transparency is 100, so you don't see, right? You can change it. So what I'm going to do is basically, I'm going to add an image in the back. So let me go. So it is a layout. I created this using PowerPoint slide. So I'll make the transparency 0. So now you see the layout. Basically, this is an image. So it is sitting right on top of the canvas. So I'm going to put my visuals on top of this so it will look cool, right? So now what I'm going to do, this is where we are going to play now. So when you design a dashboard, usually what I do is I have a top line to give the key performance indicators, the most important ones, the logo, the title, right? Then after that, we will go from left to right based on how we look at reports. So first, what I'm going to do, I'm going to insert a logo. You can go to insert, and you can insert so many stuff here, text box and buttons, shapes. So I need an image. So I'll go and get an image. So I just got a logo here. So I'm going to resize this, right? Keep it here. right? So you now, once you select an object here, you can see on the right side the properties are there. You can go and change it. If you don't know the name of the property, you can search it. Okay, so scaling, I want the scaling to be full, right? So I need the logo. Next, what I need is a title for the report. Same way you can insert a text box here, right? So I'll say sales analysis overview. And let's say this is year 2015. So you can go and change the size. Let's say, let's put it to 18, right? Okay. And I will change the color of this to something like gray, right? So now what I have is a title. So what I can do now, I can, to match with the background, I can go and remove the background. So background color can be anything. So I'm removing. Also, I need to make this white, right? So I'll change the size of this subheading here to something smaller. It will look nice. So we have the heading. So now what we are going to do, I need some numbers. Let's say I need total sales to be shown here, okay, on top. Then we have quantity and so on, right? So one way to get visualization is just to go. There are Power BI is providing a lot of visuals. If you are not satisfied with any of this, you can also go and get from the store, visual store. You can import from the store there. You have enough visuals and different visualizations. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the card visual. So this card visual, once you click, it is here. I go to orders and we have sales. If you see, once I click this visual, you have two. One is the field well, where we will drop the field, you know, which has to be aggregated or shown here. And the properties are there, right? So additional analysis will show here. Now for this one, I need the sales amount, right? So this sales is automatically aggregated. Now, if you click on the right arrow, you see it is summing it. If you want, you can change it. You can change it to count. But what we want is, since it is sales, we know we need the sum of it, right? So I'm going to get this and put it right up there. So we'll change the properties. So this is the data label, and I'll change the color to white and make the background, let's say. Also, I have the category, which is the name that says sales. So I want that, but I need a different color. Let's say I make this. So we have our sales amount shown here, right? The total sales for the whole year 2015 is 5.2 million, right? So if I want similar visuals, I can copy and paste, Control-C, Control-V, and it's very easy this way. So see, it's like PowerPoint. You can drag, and it will show you the alignment with others easy. So what I need the quantity. This I have already formatted, done everything. So because it's a copy paste, I'm going to go to orders and get the quantity and drop it here. So the format, I don't want this. I want to show the whole number of quantities, without any 1,000 separators. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to data labels and say display units, none, right? So this has to be formatted. So what we can do, you can click on any field here. Let's say I'm clicking on quantity. Once you click, you see new ribbon options are available here. So what I want to mark it as comma separated, right? Now it looks good. Now you see the total quantity, total sales, but you should be able to see this analysis based on the period you select, because it is showing for the whole year, right? If you want to see from January to May. So how do we do that? So we can insert another visual called slicer, right? So slicer visual, you need a date. So where is the date? Date is in orders table, right? So if you click, there are date hierarchy. I'll just show you that. So I'm going to drag and drop it here. See, it automatically gives you in a nice format. So you have a slider to change the date. For example, if I want from not January, I want from May 1st. See, now the sales has changed, quantity has changed. So it is controlling the whole canvas, right? So you can drag it. So if you want to see in a different format like drop down, you can also select a particular date. So that is there. So there are so many other options. Let's go through this quick. Now the option I need is this one, the between. So I need to put it right here. This is great. Now I'm going to go and change the background. This input to font color is white, and the background I will just remove the background. So this is good enough. So we have done the top level here in the dashboard, I mean in the report. So now we look at other visuals, like for example, now we know the sales, which is 5.2 million, but we want to see the sales by, let's say, okay, we'll insert a stacked bar chart here. When you insert it, so you want to see by, let's say, managers who are in charge, right? So I'll bring the axis to managers. Now, in the axis, I have managers, but I don't have values here. So I need to bring the value, which is, we'll bring the sales amount. Right? So it's very easy. You can just drag and drop. Now what I have done, I have created a chart, stack column bar chart, and I'm going to align it here, right over here. So if you now select, for example, William, so it shows the amount that is for him, right? So 1.5 million and 16,000. Okay. So you can click on the visual and, it will filter other visuals on the canvas. Now I want to make some adjustment to this. Now let's go and let's say I don't need, no, I need the y-axis. I don't need the x-axis. Also, I don't need the title. So you can go and remove the title, right? So let's remove the title from the y-axis also. So easy to remove. Now we want to see the value as well, right? So what we can do, we can go and there is data labels. You switch it on. So you need sales amount. Now you have the sales. Okay. But you also want to see customer segment, not only this. Now you have the sales by the region, basically. Each region is represented by the manager, customer segment. So what you can do, you can copy paste, right? Okay. Now, this is one way you can copy paste and you can just change it. So there is another way of inserting visual, which is Q&A visual, which is very powerful. I mentioned about it. It has an AI capability. Now, for example, there is an icon here, which is Q&A, right? So when you click it, it gives you a visual. This visual, you can ask questions using natural English language, right? So let's say I want sales by segment. So it will show you the sales by segment. So you can type anything here, want sales by, let's say, subcategory, right? So you can type your question in English language, like total quantities, total quantity. It shows. So what we want here, we want the sales by segment. Okay, now if you like this visual, if you like the outcome of this, then you can go and click on this. It will make it a normal visual here. So you can drag and drop it here. Right, this is one way. Now, since I have done changes to the upper one, I have formatted everything. So what I can do, I can remove this. The easier way is to copy paste and change the axis. I want the segment, right? Customer, let me just open this up and take customer segment. Okay. Yes. Now, if you see this is not showing full, what you can do, you can go to y-axis and you can increase this, right? That is great. Now you see this, it's sales by manager and corporate. There is a visual interaction here. For example, if I click William, it shows the amount that is related to William. Out of the total, what amount is for him is 0.5 million. For corporate office, like 0.5 million. So this interaction is there throughout all Power BI visuals. Now, if I click here, right? Okay, if you come and click here, it filters everything on the sheet, right? So, but you can change the behavior of this. How? If you go to format, edit interactions. You see, if I click this, I want to filter it rather than highlighting it, right? So if you click filter, now if you click William, it shows the full amount, right? It's not highlighting. That is a behavior in this. So now that for us to visualize geography, we have state, we have cities. So we'll put a map now. So we'll visualize it using a map. So I'll switch off interactions. So I'm going to get a map here, right? Yes. For the map, what we need, I need location. So let's say we want the state and we want the cities, right? So it's plotted, but all the states and cities, they look the same size. The size, it should be dependent on some variable, some value. So we can take sales as the size. So we see the sales. If you want properties, if you want to increase the size, okay, bubble, increase it, right? Right, this is great. Now what you see is now, for example, if you click William, you see his region and his, now remember there is a hierarchy here. If I go and click here, what you see is, you see the state and the city, right? So if I want to drill down, for example, what is this? This is California, right? I want to drill down and see what cities are there in California. Like, for example, you can click on this button. This is a drill down button, okay? So you click on this, will do, it will open up all the cities in California, right? This is how you can go up. This is one way. So I will click again, so it shows all the managers. Now, if I want to see all the cities, basically, I can untick this at once. You can click this button over here. So what it does, it will show you all the cities, right? Yes. Now, since we know that, you know, each manager is responsible for each region, what we can do, we can bring the city, we can bring the region here as the legend. Let's see what happens when we do that. It's very clear now. See, this is the west, right? And you can see the agenda here. So if I click Chris, that is his place. So this is how map works. Also, in any visual, what you can do, you can enlarge it now. For example, if you click on this focus mode, it gives you a wider range, right? And now if you want to see the data underneath this, you can see show as table. It will show you the data that is residing behind this visual, right? So you see all this data coming from the visual. There is one way. And also map visuals, you can do that. The same thing with all the visual almost. Now here sorting. Now it is basically sorting based on the sales amount. Now if I want to sort by manager, that is also possible, right? So you can sort it by ascending, descending. That option is there. So what we'll do, we'll sort by sales, right? And I want descending as it was previously. Those options are there. And export data, you can export data to Excel if you want, right? The sales data will export it as CSV. From any visual, you can go and export data. That option is there. If you want to highlight one, when you just presenting to your stakeholders, if you want to highlight one visual, you can do that this way, right? Okay, let's do more analysis on this. Now, I want to see the category. What is the percentage of category, product category representation as a donut chart now, right? Okay, let's bring this visual here and let's see how this works, right? So you align it nicely. So what you want, I want the category. Now we are going to touch on the products table, right? So you can minimize this and I want the category, the legend, and I want the sales amount, right? So it is showing now the sales amount and the percentage that it represents for this, right? This is, for example, technology, right? Yeah, it is working, interaction is working nicely, right? Once you do that, now, if I want to see the trend, for example, now that we have by manager we are analyzing, and again, we can see what is the segment representation and how it is distributed, spread across regions, across provinces and cities. Also, we know the percentage contribution by category. If I want to see the trend, what's happening to our orders, our sales, it is from January to December. So the right way to do is using there is a line chart. So I'll take this area chart, right? So we'll do this. Okay. Now here, what I want in the area chart axis, you need the date. So I'll go and get the orders and order date. Right. I need the value. Let's take the sales amount and drop it here. What you see is that basically this is the year, because you can drill down. If I go down to next level, it shows the quarter. Why? Because automatically Power BI has put a hierarchy. You know, it just divided into year, quarter, month, and day. Right. So this is nice feature. So what we can do, we can go to the next level. I'll show it as month. Right. So same way. For example, I showed you before. Now you are here. If you click this button, if you want to see this particular Q3 is high, if you just click on Q3, it will show you only the months that belong to Q3. You can see that. So you can drill up and see. Now, what we just want to see the months, right? So when you see what happens is, sales, I think started climbing up from June and went up in October, it dropped in November, picking up in December, right? So what I want to do is I want to see by category. We have the percentage, how each category is doing. What you can do, you can go and get the product category onto the legend. So now what we see is the trend. If you see, technology has gone up, sales for technology products, and it has gone down. So you are able to see that now. If you click on one particular slicer here, it is also filtering it. Right? Okay, great. Now, what I want to do now, I have the manager, I have this customer segment. Then next, we want to visualize what is the trend by date. Okay, we'll click a line chart, for example. Sorry, I just click line chart. So already I had selected it. So it will change the visual to line chart. So this is not what I wanted. I want to insert a new line chart here. Okay. So I will just put it here. Right. Yes. Let me just align it. Right. What I want the date. Fine. So now I want the order quantity, how many orders, number of orders are made. Currently, we don't have a field that say how many orders are there because each line is not shown. Okay. So what we can do, we can get the quantity, how the quantity is doing, like for example. Okay. So I don't need, let me go down. Okay. Yes, this is the quantity trend. You can show the trend, right? So the trend of quantities over the period of quarters, right? Now, what I want to do, I have the category here. What I want to do is I want to see the subcategory products, how subcategories are mentioned. So there is another visual which we can use to show is a table visual. The name says table, so it is a table basically. So there's nothing complicated here. Okay. So what I need here in this table, let's see. I need the subcategory. We have category, we'll put subcategory, right? I want the sales. You can just click on sales amount, right? Yeah. We'll sort it by sales. Yes, fine. Now, if you see the sales amount is summing up, right? So what I'll do, I'll get the percentage of sales. For example, I want to see out of 5.2 million, what is the percentage of office machines represent? So you can bring the sales field again onto this, right? And we will change the calculation. Now, if you click on this, you have some average minimum. So at the last, you have show value as percentage of grand total. Now, what does it do? It shows, we can rename it, this field, just I'll say percentage sales, right? Now it shows the percentage, the total is 100%, right? You can change the calculation method in each column once you bring it. Now, also it's possible to like stack information below this. Now, for example, I have the subcategory. I want the product. I want under each, and if you click, for example, technology, it will show you only the technology products here, supplies and the representation of that. But if I want to see what items are there on the office machines, then you have the product names, right? So what we can do, we can go and bring the product names here and put it right under category, right? So this doesn't show here. So what we can do, we can change the visual to matrix. It's similar to pivot tables in Excel, right? So once you have done that, just a second, I just put it in the wrong visual. So I need to select the right visual, which is this one, right? So I will change it to a matrix, okay, which is similar, but you will have many columns in this, no, for the categories. So what I'm going to do a subcategory is there, then I'm going to get the product name and put it right below that. So now what? Now, if I go and click this plus sign, I'm able to see the individual products that's coming under office machines, right? Okay. You can hear me clearly, right? Is it okay?
Yeah, mashallah.
Yes, yes.
Because we are running out of time, Mr. Famis, and we have so many.
Fine, I'm going to finish it. I'm going to wrap it up. Just give me only this place. I need to only one slide, right? Okay. So let me make it quick. So now we have this. Now what I want to do, I want to apply some conditional formatting. For example, if I go and take sales and conditional formatting based on background color, for example, right? Because I want to have, let me bring it. So conditional formatting, it will put the darker color for the highest value and light blue, right? Yes. So you can see this 1 million is highlighted. So now also I want to see another conditional formatting for this percentage. You can go and use icons. Icons are also available. Let's say more than, is less than 33%, I need a particular icon, and this is 67% and up to 100%. So we can change it to something like this, right? So icons are inserted automatically. So now same way, if you want to have a customer, okay, customers, if you want to know who are the customers, then what you can do, you can copy this, right? You can move it here. So instead of category, what I will do, I will just remove this and put customer name. So you can visualize in the same name, right? But if you want only the top, I want the top 10 customers to be shown based on the sales amount. Then there is a filter pen here. You can go, right? So I want the customers. You can click, choose top N. I want the top 10 customers based on the sales amount. So click apply. It will show you the top 10 customers always. Understand? So this is the dashboard that I have built so far. It doesn't take a lot of time to build such a report and a dashboard. So this is fully interactive, right? So now that we have built it, you don't want to keep it in your desktop. So what you want to do is you want to share with your stakeholders and others. So this is where you are going to click on publish here. I have already logged into my Power BI service account. So when you click publish, let's see, and I need to save it. Yes. Yes, there are different folders, like there are workspaces. I'll put it under my workspace. I'll save it. So once you have, just a second, it is loading, still loading. I'll just put it up. Okay. Okay. So you can see now, right? It is loading.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, the dashboard I created, it is now in the Power BI cloud service. Same interactions, every functionality is there, right? Now from here, what you can do, you can share it with anybody. There is a share button here. Go click share, and you can choose the email addresses or the groups that you want to share. Then you can share it with them, right? There is another way you can share if it is not confidential information for the public. For example, you can go and embed website or portal, right? Here is the link. Now I can let you guys try this. Okay, what I'll do, I can put it in the chat so the participants can, everybody can try this if they want. Is that okay?
Yeah, fine. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. So let me go to chat Chat. Okay, so I'm trying to locate the chat. Is chat enabled for me to get it?
Yeah, should be.
Okay, so it should be on the, yeah,
Or you
chat.
can send it to me in WhatsApp and then I can publish it.
Yeah, okay, I just paste. Yes,
Yeah.
the link is there. Now everybody can click on that, okay, and check, because we can click this.
And people, if they have the Power BI installed in their machines, they can install it.
They don't need Power BI to be installed for this.
No, they can download your worksheet and play with it.
Yeah, I will make it available so they can once I share with them, they can open the file. This is a file, like for example, did you try to open the link I shared?
Yeah.
Okay, is it opening? Can you see the dashboard?
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, okay. Now
no.
It
asked me to sign into the Power BI first.
Okay, it is asking you sign up, right? But since you don't have an account, so it doesn't ask. Okay, for me it works. So this is basically, you can share it so they can log in and check. So this is where you can share through web as well, right? So I will make it available, hopefully, this one. Also, you can export it to PDF or PowerPoint, right, for presenting. So there are so many options here, like you can bookmark page and so many stuff. So this time is not enough for me to cover all the aspects. So hopefully, I think we have come to the end of the session. I think we can go for the Q&A if they have.
Yeah, they have many, mashallah.
Oh, really? Okay. Yes, please.
But first of all, thank you so much for your informative presentation. You have been talking about the Power BI introduction, and then a great demonstration. You guide us how to connect with multiple data sources, and then how you can transform it very well. At the end, mashallah, you visualize it in a good way. But let's start with some questions.
Yeah.
The first question that I have here is it good to learn or using multiple BI? So as you mentioned in the beginning, in the magic quadrant of Gartner, that they have Tableau, Power BI, Click, etc. So is it okay for someone to learn more BI tools rather than focus on one thing or one tool?
See, I advise, you learn on one particular platform. Okay, one particular platform and improve yourself. Then you can insert all your efforts in one. More or less the same. Okay, but it's always good to know, but you need to provide majority of your efforts and time into one platform. Because if you look at Power BI is not the desktop application or alone. It has the whole ecosystem. You need to learn a lot. You need to keep yourself updated. So rather than distributing your efforts, you can learn when you're free, when you get extra time, you can learn about other tools. But I advise stay with one as the main one.
Cool. Okay. The second question is someone said, what is the difference between data modeling and analyze plus design and reports?
Okay, let me just get back to the presentation. Okay. Okay. You can see my presentation, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think he's talking about this flow, right?
Yes, but if you
yes.
expand.
What is the question again?
Yeah, if you can expand the screen just so we can see the presentation very well. Yeah, the question is about what is the difference between data modeling and analyze, then design and report.
Okay, just a second. You can see now?
Yes. Good.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. I missed the question again. Please ask me again.
Fine. What is the difference between data modeling and data analyzing?
Data modeling, as I told you, if you follow this, I connected first to my data source, right? The Excel files and all. I did some changes in Power Query, right? Deleting columns and things like that. Then what happened? I brought the data into data modeling. So what did I do in data modeling? I just made sure each table from the files are properly connected, right? Data formatting is done, calculations. If I didn't do any calculation here. Basically, there is a calculation engine called DAX, Data Expression Language, to do advanced calculation, and also I did not touch on that. So you can do calculations, develop the data model, so that it will be ideal, a good data model base for your visualization, you know. So analyzing and designing is like, basically once you have done the modeling, you go and create visuals and analyze the data, you know. For example, where are the sales, in which month sales was high, who are the bottom 5 customers, and this is sort of analyzing and visualizing.
Perfect, perfect. One more is what is the difference between load and transform option? So you remember once you start your demonstration, you have loaded data and then you have transform it. So what is the difference between them?
Oh, okay. ETL. He's talking about ETL. Basically, what happened was extract, transform, and load. So extract is basically getting the data. After that, transform is all the actions, steps I did in Power Query. You know, that is called the transformation. Loading means bringing the data from the Power Query to the data model in Power BI. When I click close and apply, what happened is it was loading the data from Power Query to the data model in Power BI.
Super. Okay, one question here is about, you have changed the ID from number to text. So why did you do that?
Okay, fine. See, you have to know about the data types. Okay, so for example, customer ID is something that you are not going to add together, right, using an aggregation. You are not going to get the average or sum of the customer IDs. So this has to be text, right? Otherwise, it will get added. It will be identified as a value addition.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's about dimension and measure. So you converted from measuring to dimension, right?
Yes, because we were working with dimensions. What dimensions we had in this model? We had one fact table, you know. Fact is what? The orders table. What dimensions we had? We had customers and products.
Cool. Okay. There is someone asked a question, said, is it required to have a background in SQL to work in Power BI?
No, you don't need SQL background, but if you have it, you know, it will be very beneficial. But you can learn from the scratch, because this is supposed to be the end user BI. Okay, you don't have to know anything. Like, you can start. See, I just started. It was not difficult, right? So it was like going smooth.
Yeah. Okay. So no need for IT skills.
No need, because this is Power BI is supposed to be for the end user. But if you go advanced modeling, advanced visualizations, but you need some sort of database background, SQL Server, how relationships work, right? So how queries work. So you need that. You will learn it as you start your journey in data analytics.
Right. Okay. Because we're talking about database and SQL, I've seen that you can connect to the SQL Server. So what about if I have an Oracle databases? Can I connect?
Okay, I think I'll just show you the data that you can connect to in SQL. There is a lot of databases that you can connect. Okay, not only one, there are many, right? So if you go to Power BI.
But can you just...
yeah, I am just sharing my screen.
Okay.
Okay, you can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, let me go to the desktop application so it will be easy. Okay, right. So this is where I publish. So what I do, I go and get the data from here, right? So this is the button to get the data. You see what you can connect to. You see my screen, right, Sultan?
Yeah, we do.
Yes, okay. Now it will show you the data sources that are available for you to connect from Power BI. Okay, you have SQL Server, you have Oracle, you have you have PDF files, you have SharePoint, SQL Server, Oracle, you name it, you have anything. They keep adding more and more data sources. Also, if you don't have, you can create your own connector, right? SAP, Azure platform is there, Dynamics Navision, Google Analytics, Facebook. You can connect to anything, basically, wherever data is, Salesforce, right? Also web, okay, you can connect anything through the web.
Oh, okay. One more is about what is the difference between Power BI and Google Data Analysis? And I think I have one question more about this same topic, which is what can Power BI more valuable and rather than Tableau and Click or Google Data Analytics as well?
See, there is Google Data Studio, I remember. So they have a product to visualize. But if you look at one of the slides I showed you was, the advantages of having Power BI. Power BI, you see, I just showed you, you can connect to a lot of data sources and it is always up to date. They keep updating new sources. You can share it. Already people are using Microsoft products, integration is very easy. It is on the Azure cloud, right? This is one of the largest clouds and, the performance is there very good. And shareability, AI integration, there are a lot of benefits for using. I've been using for about now 3-4 years Power BI, it is going great.
Okay, cool. And talking about limitation and comparing to another tools as well. Some people say Excel file has a limit up to, I think, 1.2 million records.
Yes.
So is there a limitation also in the Power BI as well?
Power BI, there is no limitation. It's only limited by memory. You can bring millions, billions, and trillions of data into Power BI because what happens is Power BI does not limit it to number of rows like Excel. It is based on memory, and there is a very strong engine inside compression engine inside Power BI called Vertipack, which will compress it. Like if the data model is large, when you bring it here, it becomes smaller.
Okay, so if you can answer this question or not, it's fine. What is the maximum rows have you deal with it using Power BI in your work? Have you reached 100 millions of records?
Okay, okay, let me tell you. In my work, I have reached 20 million rows.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was okay, smooth.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Okay, someone asked about that when he put countries or maps, sometimes the data is not transferred very good, so Power BI cannot understand it. I think some problem here related to the spelling. So
okay, I'll tell you. I know, I understand that because this is based on Bing Maps. You see my screen, right?
Yeah, we see the Power BI. Desktop. Yeah.
Yeah, this is. I have a map visual. It is showing now, for example, everything is where in US right now.
Yeah.
Why it is showing? Because I put the state, I put the city under. Let me just remove the state. Okay. You see, the cities are showing where now? There is Saudi Arabia, Medina, but there is a Medina in US, and see, it's scattered all over because it doesn't understand the words because it's going by the names that it can find in Google Maps, like in Bing Maps. Okay, so you need to give it a hierarchy. Like for example, if I put cities there, so under customer, if I go and bring state or province just on top of this, okay, now it will understand, yes, this particular city is coming under this province, right?
Okay.
So it will not go out. So that is what it is. So another way is like, for example, now all the cities are here. See, it is not going out of US, right? The other way is like, for example, you can go to the data table section and identify and specify what it is. For example, I didn't do it. I'll just do it now just to show you. This is a city. I can click the city field, go to columns tool, and there is a data category. You choose, you tell Power BI, this is a city. So it knows that, it is name of a city, easily found in the. Also, this is a state or province. So you can mark it, state or province. Now, if you don't find it, it will be easy to understand. Also, if sometimes it doesn't work, then you have to choose it as place. There is a category called place. Okay. So you need to try actually Bing, and it all based on the maps. So you can try this method. Otherwise, you can choose place. Either way, it should work. Or you should put it as a hierarchy, like country first, then state or city.
Okay. So back to the map. You say this is Bing. Can we import another type of map like Mapbox or OpenStreetMap?
Yes, we can bring more maps, get more visuals. For example, I'll just show you what maps. Already there are like shape maps are there, right? Here, if you see. But if you go and this is additional maps. Okay, you can go and get from Power BI Visuals Store. You have global map with the 3D route map. See, there are so many maps. You can get it from here. Right? So,
and then these type of maps we can add it in with free, not commercial. So
most of them are free actually. Most of them are free. Okay.
Cool.
You can get a lot of visuals for free. You have field map, you have shape maps.
In modeling, you showed us the modeling, which is explain the relation between the tables or the data that you have.
Yes.
Yeah. Can we play around it? So the one-to-many relation and many-to-many.
I'll just show you. Yes, I'll show you.
Is it calculated or we can play with it?
Oh, okay. Now let me just delete this relationship. Okay. Let's say system did not create a relationship automatically. Okay. In this case, you want to create a relationship. First you should understand the fields that you are going to create. Right now, if you look at the products table, what you have here is what is the unique ID here? Index is product ID, right? So here also you have product ID. So what you are going to do, you are going to click on this product, drag and drop on this product over here, right? So now it has created the relationship. But if you want more control, you can click this yellow line, double click it. Now see, it is showing what is behind this. This is the product table. You have the product ID. Orders table, you have the orders ID. What is the relationship? Many to one. You can change it to one to one, one to many, on many, depending on the situation. Also, you have cross filtering. So I don't recommend using both. Always use single. So this is where you have more and better control over relationship.
Okay. Okay. Someone asking about the certificate of BI reporting.
Yes.
Do you have a comment related to that?
Yeah, actually, this is a certificate offered by Microsoft. There is an exam you need to do for Power BI. And once you finish that, the same thing, whatever I explain now, most of them are also available in Excel. You can do the visualization, data modeling, and Power Query stuff. So I had to do 2 exams. Once you do those 2 exams, they will offer you the MCSA certificate, which is Microsoft Certified Solution Associate for BI reporting. You can apply for that. I think now there is a new exam, DA 100, I believe. He can check in Microsoft exams website.
And how can our friends prepare to taking this exam?
Okay, now if you want to take this exam, first in the exam page itself, they have given the areas that will be covered. Okay. Once you do that, I can recommend a book. I don't remember it. I will share it later. So I purchased a book. It is also available in Power BI recommended books. Also a lot of practice. Actually, you should know your stuff. You should create a lot of projects, sample projects, and understand a lot of. You will have to watch a lot of videos regarding the backend administration and especially DAX calculations. You need to refer a lot of resources. Then you'll be able to pass the exam, inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay. Talking about the data and the schedule. If we have connected our dashboard to Oracle databases or SQL Server databases, is there a way or option to refresh those data in a timely manner?
Okay, see, I didn't go into these details. I will just explain now, because what I did, I created a file. I just connected to an Excel file in my computer, and I completed my project, the file, then uploaded it to service, right? So what happens if more data gets added? How does it get refreshed?
Yeah.
So there is something called gateway. There is another application you need to install, okay, in your server or wherever you have the data. And you can set up automatic refresh, like it allows 8 refresh per day for pro license. So you can give the time. For example, I can just show you. I can just show you in my application how I have set up. Let me just quickly go there. Share. Okay. Now, if you go here and manage gateway. See, I have a gateway. I have connected to some servers where gateway is installed. So you can set automatic refresh on this. So there is an option for you to set up refresh options.
Okay. Okay. One last question.
Yeah.
It's about, can we connect it API with the Power BI? API as a data source?
Yes, you can connect. There are options, like, for example, if you go to, let's say, I'm in a report. Let's say I'm in a dashboard. Let's say I'll add this to a dashboard. Okay, dashboard in Power BI is different than report. Dashboard is like you can pick whatever visuals from different reports and create a dashboard. Okay, so now I created a dashboard out of this. I inserted only this. Now if I want, I can connect to live streaming of data, like, for example, Google Analytics, YouTube, or whatever, even other APIs. Okay, from here, and I can create it. There is an option. There is an option to connect to
API data. Okay.
API.
Okay. One last one, and I promise this is the last, because the people are about the exam. People are asking, is it theoretical or practical one?
There is no practical. This is all questions, theories. So
is it multiple choice exam?
Yeah, it's a multiple choice exam.
Okay. Okay. Mashallah, questions are coming, but we are running out of time. So at the end, on behalf of the Saudi data community and all the participants here today, thank you so much, Mr. Fahmy, for the informative presentation, and we really appreciate it. Please do the data source upload or in the chat, or you can provide it anywhere so people can play with it. And
definitely. I will share it with everyone. So what I will do, I will put it in my website and I share the link so they can go and download it. So I think you'll be able to share it with the participants, right? Once I have uploaded it.
Okay, we do have emails, so we can share it with them.
Okay. Also, I advise them to go and subscribe, because I will be sharing some ebooks also about Power BI, about the introduction and stuff. So they'll be able to download it. Also in my YouTube, I'm going to publish whatever, and done so far. Okay. In future also, I'm planning to add more contents.
Perfect. Thank you so much once again. And if you have a final sentence or comment, please.
Yes, it was a great session. Actually, it's not always, it's not enough time for us to do this kind of online dashboard, within an hour or so. So I was not able to demonstrate most of the features. So anyhow, it was a good session. I thank you, Yusuf, and the organizers in the data community who have organized this, and it was a very good session. And I hope to be a guest in future as well, to present more stuff on Power BI and data analytics. And thank you for the participants, very engaged, and hope they got what they wanted. Their expectations are met. And thanks, guys, and I like to wish you all safety, and also wish you happy Eid, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you so much, Ms. Fahmy. شكرا اخواني واخواتي في الحضور اليوم. نتمنى انه نكون يعني قدمنا الشيء اللي يرقى لذائقتكم، ونعتذر اذا كان الوقت قصير، ونعتذر اكيد على الاسئله اللي ما قدرنا نجاوب عليها. ما شاء الله الاسئله كثيره والوقت كان قصير، وما حبينا ناخذ من وقتكم الكثير امانه. ولكن في النهايه باسمي وباسم مجتمع السعوديه البيانات نشكركم للحضور. نتمنى منكم انكم تشاركونا في السيرفي او الاستبيان اللي ارسلنا لكم على الشات. وختاما ابقوا في بيوتكم وكونوا آمنين، وكل عام وانتم بخير إن شاء الله، وشكرا لكم. Thank you Mr. Fahmy.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Assalamu alaikum.
You too. Thank you. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.